Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Morning.
Good morning.
Everybody hearing me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, we're recovering from teacher appreciation drive-through. That's what we're calling this one because it was a drive-through. We're all tired. Apparently, according to my watch, which is a whole lot smarter than me, I walked 6 miles yesterday.
In the heat.
I know you would be happy about that out of everybody on this screen. I was like, Janet's gonna say, good job, Wendell.
Oh, I was saying it was probably very hot too. So
It wasn't too bad. It was overcast. We did get a couple, sprinkles of rain, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
Considering everybody was thinking we were going to have a hurricane, and I was dealing with that all weekend.
right.
No, it was really, really good.
So did you have a good turnout for the teachers then?
Yeah, we probably saw over 700, just under 800.
Good.
So it was good. It was good. I think it was truly. It's always a pleasure to do that event. It makes you feel good about some of the things we're able to do. So there will theoretically be no more events for 2020. 2020 is over on our events calendar. So I was very happy to be able to get that one in. I know we did take a little bit of flack on not having the scholarship one, but the scholarship dinner would have right smack dab in the middle of COVID, and that was near impossible. A lot of people don't realize how we raise the money for the scholarship, and we'll get into that, but if we need to. But I was happy to be able to do the teacher. I really, really was. It takes a lot of money to do that one, and the sponsor said they'll do it, and we did some collaborations, and that helped. So
I know the teachers really appreciate it.
yeah, they were very, very appreciative. Well, again, it makes us feel good. I was happy that we finished the fiscal year being able to do that. I really was. I think it made me feel good, and I think this year has been so tough for so many of us that it's a nice way to end it, at least my fiscal year.
Absolutely.
Kim Deppy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. I did not walk 6 miles yesterday, thank goodness.
I'm happy to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. We speak so much, but I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. I thought I'd show you my face just to let you know I'm vertical and still
Gotcha.
working.
Most of the people who are on here, I know them very well. Do you guys know Kim? Janet, Phyllis?
No.
Okay.
Hi.
Basket Life, I like that over there.
I know you
Kim Deppy, I will tell you my bio of Kim Deppy. Then Kim Deppy can tell you guys her bio later on. When I first got to the chamber back in 2018, they didn't have somebody to do marketing, and Kim was helping out for a little while. Then we tried to hire somebody full-time, and Kim helped me with that one also. And then we transitioned over to someone else once we moved away from an in-house person back to a consultant. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, one of the things that I had to do was make some real hard decisions. And we cut our expenses by 30% so we can survive as a business. And part of it was cutting the other person who was doing our social media, not because the work wasn't good, it's because I couldn't afford it anymore. And so I went back to Kim. Kim's my ride and die. And I told Kim I need some pro bono time. And Kim Deppy turned out to be the person I probably needed the most, because out of everybody on the current board, nobody was here in 2008. So nobody had any corporate knowledge on what we could do as a chamber to survive compared to what we did in 2008. And I needed some of that. Kim was the one person who was on the board in 2008. So I was very happy when Kim decided to come back and help me. But that's one of the reasons I was able to go back and call on Kim and said, Kim, I need you more than you need me. Trust me on that one. And I'm very happy. She keeps me in check. And she's been a true resource for me to help me navigate all of this. So that's my version of Kim Deppie, and I'm sticking to it. So
Well, she sounds like a real patriot.
yes.
Good job, Kim.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I moved here in 1992 from New Orleans, and I've been in Clay County ever since, and I've been part of the chamber in one form or fashion since then. And I did 16 years as the VP of marketing for St. Vincent's, and then Baptist St. Vincent's, and then St. Vincent's again after they got divorced. And then I also worked as VP of marketing for Community First Credit Union for a while. And now I have my own agency since 2011. So I get to live, work in Clay County and work from my house. It doesn't much get better than this. So as soon as Wendell gets started, get everybody to log on, I'm gonna mute myself and turn it over to Wendell, and I'm gonna ask everybody else to please mute your volume. Sometimes it's just a matter of hearing. Right now I'm hearing air in the background, so it might be on the phone. So if you can mute your phone, Justin, that might be you. Thank you, appreciate that. And we have a chat room open, as you can see, if you have it opened up on the right side of your screen. If you have questions for Wendell, please go ahead and type them in there. I'm going to keep notes on the questions, and then we'll throw them at Wendell at the end when we get to the Q&A piece. We're going to try to keep it right to an hour, because I know everybody is
My phone's blowing up with a couple people who are trying to get on, Kim, so let me just send them the email.
okay.
First of all, I see Alan on, the Honorable Mayor of Orange Park. So Alan, thanks for joining us. And also, he's also been a member of the Chamber for a long time. So appreciate that. A couple of my board members are here, and my volunteers. I love them dearly, and they always show up and support us. So thank you so much. Let's see who's blowing up my phone. Okay, here we go.
Interesting question.
I think Randy, he made wrong Zoom. Wrong Zoom. Try the new link. I'm just sending this to him, and then we'll get him on and we'll go from here. So Kim, could you let me share my screen? I retrofitted a PowerPoint that I used. Are we good? Yep.
Okay, you are now the host, and you can share your screen.
Take that one.
Can everyone see that? Oh, can everyone see that?
Yes.
And I'll do that. All right. Okay. Well, as always, it's a pleasure to see all of you. I know Kim felt it was a good idea, and I do agree with her to try to talk a little bit about the year we've had. And the reason I speak about it that way is because the Chamber fiscal year starts in October, ends in September. So right now we're coming up on the end of it. So as far as our planning is concerned, and the board is going into budget season, and then we have new nominations and things like that. So all of that's happening right now. Right now, I think it's important. I wanted to start the presentation with this slide. I take no credit for it. This was done with Kim Deppie and some other folks a long time ago, and I think now more than ever, it is true. Some of these things, when you do it right, they're timeless, and I think this one is. The way I look at this is membership. You commit to the chamber, commit to the community, commit to giving back, commit to growing and your business. Our job is to help you connect. Blake Massey and I and Bob Olson, we've been having a lot of these conversations the last 2 Fridays. How do we help our businesses connect more than ever? Now it's more valuable. A lead is more valuable now, in my opinion, than it was before COVID-19. Now, during and as we still navigate this, it has become more valuable. So I think that's one of the deep things we're looking at. We're not. We want to grow our community. We want to develop our membership, but right now, we also need to take care of our own, and those are our members. Those are you guys. And then once we connect you, hopefully you create something, partnerships, collaborations, and things of that nature. One of the things we started to see nationally and locally is people always ask the question, why chamber membership? What we have found is that we're seeing the businesses who are focused locally and they're community-based, they're doing a whole lot better than national chains. And that is across the board. The Orange Park Mall, and Randy and I, we spent a lot of time looking at this. There's been several bankruptcies take shape recently, and more than 90% of them are national chains. So it is true, if you're local and you're community focused, you have a much better chance of surviving right now. Advocacy, we maintain that we have to continue to do that. And what I wanted to do is just not put buzzwords. I wanted to tell you what it is we're doing going into 2021 to support the things that we hold true as a chamber. So Small Business Innovation Center in Clay County, I will address that later in a slide, but we have gotten that approved. Community engagement, the teacher appreciation drive-through yesterday was a perfect example of why we decided to do that event to close out the year. We need to still have a presence in the community, and this was one of the safest ways to do it, and to, of course, support a really good cause. And then, of course, we need to promote ethical business practices, and I did put Urban Bean in there for a reason. Urban Bean, for those of you who don't know, he has closed down again for the next 2 weeks, probably, give or take, because there has been a COVID confirmed case in the restaurant. That takes a lot of courage. Most people don't realize it costs a lot of money to shut it back down and reopen it. Dwayne is probably going to lose about $50,000 during that period of time. Dwayne and I chatted about this, and he felt as though it was the right thing to do. And I am in no position as the chamber president to tell people to close their businesses. I am just here to support you. But I also felt it was the right thing to do, because if you don't get in front of your own messaging, if that was to be a rumor in the marketplace, it would affect your business in a negative way more than this would anyway. The other scenario we had like this was Whitey's Fish Camp, Elaine and Billy, and I worked with them pretty closely, and they lost a significant amount of money during this period of time. But the reason I wanted to put that slide in there is because sometimes in these instances, the business owner inherits a bad reputation for something that they're not in control of, right? When people are finished working their shift, they go back home, they have regular lives. They get COVID, we don't know where. They come back to work, then the business owner has to shut down. That's not because they didn't put safeguards in place. That's not because there wasn't social distancing. That's not because they were not wearing face masks or ensuring that there's shields and whatever within the business place. So Dwayne, to Dwayne's credit, he was doing all of those things. But again, he did go on and have a bad occurrence, and he shut it down. I'm really going to try to help him reopen. So if you can support his business once he reopens, trust me, to help significantly. So I've decided to put up some numbers before COVID, and the membership got up to, we are about 840, give or take, members. The mall joined the paid for every store in the mall to become a member of the chamber. We were actually going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony in March, but of course we had to close that down. So the chamber's membership is about 840. During this time, we've lost about 15 businesses primarily due to closings. That number, the reason I put the plus sign there, some of that's still ongoing. But overall, the chamber membership has been doing great things in Clay County. There's been about $500 million of shovel-ready projects happening, and most of those are going to continue. There's some uncertainty probably about the VACCON project and a little bit about the mall, but Randy's trying to work through that as he navigates COVID. But again, the membership has done really, really good work in Clay County. The testimony about this, which is most important in my opinion, is that these businesses are here. They are established businesses, and they realize that the growth and the expansion in Clay County is a driver for them. And hopefully that transfers to a lot of the work that the EDC is doing for new businesses that they're bringing in, but is a true testimony to the marketplace, the existing marketplace in Clay County, that these businesses are willing to expand based on everything that we know that's happening within the county. The Consumer Sentiment Index, this is what drives me bonkers every day. This is produced by the University of Florida, and they look at consumer behavior in the marketplace, how they feel about their attitude to what's going back out there. The lowest it's been since 2008 was 75.9, and that happened in April, COVID. It's starting to tick up a little bit, 82.7. By no means, anything in green is better than anything in red, so we'll take a win. Again, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen they haven't put out the July. It's probably going to come out any day now. We need this number to keep going up, and we need it to be green. But again, I think there's so much mixed messaging in the marketplace with COVID and then all the testing and everything else. It is affecting our businesses negatively. And we're trying to get in front of that, but that is truly a local response. It goes back to what I said earlier. Local community-based businesses, this is your time. This is the time when you will probably see the most growth and become most relevant, because people are focused on buying things locally right now. One, because of proximity, is closest to home, and two, because we're pushing out a lot of messaging saying, hey, help your local economy, support your quality of life, go ahead and keep buying locally. What we have done in COVID-19, none of this is normal. I wanted to put this out to let you know we are remaining community focused, which keeps the brand front and center, which shows that the businesses who support the chamber are supporting the work of the community. That's what we're trying to do with this. So we did help with the COVID-19 loan response. If you still want a PPP loan, you did not get one, and you think that you may qualify, but just you didn't get through with your bank, email me when you're done and call the chamber. I will get you to a local lender who still have money for PPP. We spearheaded the production of surgical grade masks. For most people who don't know, the cloth masks are not surgical grade. N95s are still not showing up in the marketplace at the rate that they need to. So we provided those primarily to the hospitals. Emergency food fundraising, we helped with that. Most recently, we delivered about 30,000 masks to any resident in Clay County or business who wanted it. If you need any more, just call me. I still have some of those. We collaborated a lot with our local municipalities. They were awesome. They provided marketing by reaching out to their residents. Also, they provided a space for us to go and share those masks. We equipped our businesses with PPE. That was primarily through a donation by the Clay County Development Authority. They bought all the supplies, they gave it to us, and then we distributed them throughout the county, through the municipalities, and the chamber gave quite a bit out. Small Business Innovation Center. This is probably, in my humble opinion, this is probably the single biggest win for the Clay County Chamber of Commerce and for small businesses in Clay County right now. So part of the CARES Act funding that came into the county, it was very restrictive, but it was focused on restarting our local economy, which meant giving and allocating money to small businesses. The Economic Development Corporation through J.J. Harris, Josh Cockrell, who represents the Clay County Development Authority, and myself, together with Howard Wanamaker and his team, we got together, we brainstormed, we wanted to create something that wasn't temporary, that was permanent. And we all supported the idea of trying to establish a small business innovation center or an incubator. It's a hybrid of an incubator, accelerator, whichever one. But initially, it will be focused on helping existing businesses restart or get what they need to be able to go to the next level. Presently, we are all looking to try to purchase a building because that's what the money is allocated for. And we are looking for a building. We must have this all completed before December 30th. So the race is on to try to secure this property. I have launch, build, grow. For people who are not familiar with accelerators, incubators, launch, the idea that's in your head. That's a launch idea. How do we get that off the ground? A build idea. I already established my business. I'm having some struggles, or COVID has affected me. How do I get back in the marketplace? We're going to help you build that business back up. Grow. We're doing very well. We want to go to the next level. We want to sell more. We want to produce more. That's what we call the grow category. There we'll tap into the Economic Development Corporation. They can help you with that. We'll tap into the Development Authority. They'll help you with funding. We'll bring in other funding sources like banks and things like that. That's what launch, build, grow. It takes care of everybody in the marketplace. It is a public-private partnership. Now, the takeaway from here is this. We do not have enough money on our own. If we all find a way to collaborate and we get together, we can help survive this. That's what the teacher drive-through was. What I simply did was raise money, which we do every year. I got up to about anywhere between 10 and 15,000 when the dust settles. We got together with Michaela at the Clay County Education Foundation, and we gave her our money. She raised 10,000, that turned into 20. The state allows for matching dollars. Michaela was able to take the 20 and turn it into 40. And then we were able to help 2 times the amount of teachers we helped the year before. That is a perfect example of collaboration and partnership. I think that's definitely one of the greatest assets we have going and navigating COVID going forward. Focus on restarting our economy and reopening our businesses. This is going to be an ongoing struggle. The only way we're probably going to get in front of this is when a vaccine hits the marketplace. But until then, we reopen businesses, but then we saw the reoccurrence of COVID entering a business like Urban Bean, like Whitey's Fish Camp. We'll have to continue to reopen and try to get in front of the messaging to help those people get back off the ground. Now, I didn't know this, and the more and more I learn about my businesses is the more and more I appreciate what they do. Whitey's Fish Camp has 120 people on staff. That's a significant amount of dollars getting committed to that workforce. It is in our best interest to keep those people going. How does it work? The Innovation Center. Business leaders will become mentors and advisors. Janet Peterson. Janet understands her business, her better than most people that I know. That is a specific business model where she may be an expert for somebody who's looking to create that business model where she can talk about the pros and the cons. There is going to be an application process to ensure that we take care of the whole of Clay County, Keystone, Green Cove, Orange Park, Penny Farms, Board of County Commissioners. We have decided to allocate a certain amount of spots for each one of the municipalities to make sure there's an equitable distribution. That's what we want to try to do there. Finally, what's next? So this is what's happening for 2021. This is the sneak peek. We're looking to reinvent our events because they are a very, very large part of our income. The chamber only gets money from a couple sources: membership, sponsorship, which is primarily events, and our health screening program. That's it for most of it. We do not get state money, county money, city money. We get no money from nobody else. So we have to find a way to reinvent these things. So one of the ideas we've come up with as a team is we're going to go to Spring Park. Spring Park is magnificent outdoor space in Green Cove. I have asked the city to allow us to keep the gala on the outside. To give you an idea, it's going to be very different. There'll be no tables, no chairs, complete social distancing. We're using the whole park. You're literally going for a picnic where I get to reinstall the new board. That's really what we're going to do. But the reason this is important is because Bob Olson at the Thrasher Horn was always the go-to for space in Clay County. Bob used to seat 270 people in his space. Today, using social distance modeling, Bob can hold only 78 people. His business model is hurting. Consequently, catering is hurting. Restaurants are hurting. Printers who usually print collaterals, my wedding folks are hurting. There's a lot of people connected to this business. What we're thinking is, if we start showing people how to use outdoor spaces responsibly, that we will be able to help support our catering businesses and things like that. So what we're planning to do as an idea is probably have between 7 to 10 individual restaurants. They all produce one individual dish, and they will serve it at a food station where you go, you get a plastic container, you eat, you throw away your container, and you keep walking through the park all, as long as you want to. You can revisit the stations as much as you want to, but we're able to show people you can do this as long as you do it responsibly. So we're looking to do that. October 16th is the date at Spring Park. State of the County. For those of you who've been to State of the County before, which happened last year, the room was sold out about 3 weeks before we ever got close to the date. So we know we have demand. People want to be in the room. There is definitely more demand and supply for State of the County. So what we're going to look to do is to reinvent it. I may just buy airtime from News4Jax for 1 hour. We're having the conversations right now. Then I will go into a space, as an example, like the Springs Church. They spent about $125,000 on camera technology. We will probably put 10 tables for our top sponsors in there. It's spread out completely. We then go live so we can feed it to the community. And then how do I take care of the marketing dollars and whatever? Right now we're running cost benefit analysis. Is it better for me to buy the time and then sell advertising to my sponsors? Or is it better for News4Jax to pay me for the event or do the event for free for year one? And then we see what the advertising or the risk appetite for advertising is. So those are some of the things we're looking at right now. The other thing we've been working on for a while, it got a little bit, it got slowed down a little bit because of everything that was happening with COVID, is the new website. Everything's mobile, direct traffic to member sites. This is probably the single most valuable tool to get new business. You want somebody to click on your logo and go directly to your website. You do not want to use the phone anymore. That's archaic now. If you prefer that, then fine, they'll dial your number. But what people want to do is they click your listing on my electronic directory. When they come to the website and they go directly to your webpage, and you there will put on a webinar to talk about, this is where people like Kim Deppie and Marv Khan and people like that will tell you. Initially, you want to be able to capture those people data points as quick as possible, as efficient as possible, because that's a lead. That's what's going to happen with the new website. SEO ranking, we're going to remain on the first page. No matter what we do, we got to remain on the first page. So exploring new ways to deliver value. Purchasing airtime is one way. Facebook Live, working with a production team. We're going to have to take a good look at this. Bob Olson just said something to me via email. So he said, Wendell, I'm losing another event. Hear what the problem is. Let's talk about the money. Somebody said to me last week they heard the chamber is in trouble financially. Let me address that early. We have never been probably in a better financial position as a chamber financially. The only other time we're probably been better than this is when they sold the old building on Kingsley. And part of this had to do with the current board. What the current board was able to do, they voted very early on to allow me to go out there and secure funding. We secured funding through local bank, where we got an unsecured line of credit in case we needed emergency. That way we did not have to touch our emergency reserves. We have enough money currently to last 14 months if I don't get another dollar in reserves together with the line of credit. We have started to see an uptick in our revenue because we lost everything in March. We saw a slight uptick in April, and now we're technically, you guys have heard all of this V curve. We are in a V curve. We are going back up pretty quickly, and a lot of that has to do with the staff and all the work that they're doing. The reason I have said that is because of this. Going back to the Bob Olson story. When I put on State of the County at Bob Olson's place, the Thrasher Horn, for me to have the setup, it cost us $5,000 to bring in the camera and to bring in the stage and everything else to make it look good. For me to take that live, I now need to pay, that was Sight and Sound, X amount of dollars to go live. The alternative to not having that same amount of sponsorship dollars is going to someone who already has the camera system in place and me trying to avoid rent and other things so that I can still produce a high quality event with very, very low revenue coming in. That's the only reason I'm looking to go that route. The churches spent the money on the technology. They all dropped about $100,000 on these camera systems. They can do production in-house. So the alternative is, if I do get an uptick in revenue, yes, I'll go back to the Thrasher Horn if I think it's a better event. But we can't seat the same amount of people. So I just can't hold 250 people in there anymore. So how do I still give my sponsors value? They want to show off their support, their community engagement. They'll be able to do that on the television to some degree. That's what I'm going to have to do if COVID doesn't give us a vaccine before, or if things don't change in that space. So I say all of that to say this. Everything's on the table. I'm not trying to affect local entities at all, but if we don't change our model, then I'll be using a model where I had X amount of revenue, and we do not have that amount of revenue right now, because 93 to 94% of our membership, they fall into the small business category. They're not middle or to big businesses. So right now, those people are hurting the most. And until we're able to navigate some of that stuff, which I will know in August, I have to go back to all the big sponsors and say, hey, what are you willing to commit to 2021? The three biggest sponsors in the chamber are hospitals. In the Great Recession, think about this, none of those people were affected. Fast forward to what we're going through right now, those people are drastically affected. The banks are doing okay, but the banks are doing okay up until this month, because the loans, the agreements that the banks gave to homeowners with the 6 months deferral on the loans and the credit cards and everything else, all of that's coming to an end now. The unemployment numbers, we are expecting a 15% increase in unemployment in our local region. And those numbers have come out of economic modeling done by the Northeast Florida Regional Council. So all of this is, we're in for another wave. Here it comes. It's going to be, unemployment has gone away now. The lenders are going to start asking for mortgage payment and credit card payments. We're going to start seeing all of that coming to a head with pretty soon. Then we'll have to reevaluate what we're doing as a business. Kim Deppy, you may want to take back control now, because I said I was going to do it for 30 minutes. I'm done. They got 30 minutes for questions. Now, everything's on the table. If I can't give you the answer, corporately, I will speak to you offline. But whatever you want to ask me, now is the time to ask. And if you have suggestions, then we want to take all of those into consideration also. Kim, could you take it back? You're still on mute. Okay, you're trying to fix it? Okay. I went to, this is why I need Dana Heisler. I went to a shared screen and I can't get it back up to a big one. Stop renaming pin. All right, so.
I'm here. You should go to the top center. I believe you should see a stop share.
Yeah.
You just
There we
hit,
go.
There
Yep.
we go.
All right, all right, all right.
Thank you, Dana.
you're welcome. I'm here. It just keeps hiding me.
Dana's
All right, now everybody's up. All right, so you got me for 30 minutes. Whatever you want to know, I'm going to tell you. Like Bob wanted to know if I'm taking away his event. I'm not. I need COVID to go away. I'm going to the sponsors in August. And I can tell you, I'm very worried about that conversation because some people paid for events and we did not do those events. So the question comes in, I'm not going to get the same amount of money I traditionally got. And I have to find a way to try to extract that money. That's going to be very difficult. Pray for me, I need it.
My question is, the smaller businesses have typically had opportunities to advertise and get their message out. How are you going to continue that going forward with the new model during this COVID crisis?
Yeah.
I know that's not the purpose of the chamber, but it is a value add for us.
Sure. That's a hard one, right? The truth is, right now, we have to find a way as a chamber to support the businesses who are struggling, right? Who just need to restart. That's the word. You need to restart. I am hoping that we can get the incubator up and running, because when I owned a business, I thought about the things that was very, like you, perfect example, your business. It became timing was bad. You have a lot of overhead. How do I kind of work through the overhead? If we were to get the incubator up and running, we can eliminate the overhead for at least 6 months and give you the expertise that you need to restart. The next thing may be, Wendell, that's probably not fast enough. In the world of purchasing a building and getting it open and getting it all done before December, that's pretty fast. That's pretty fast. So I am moving as fast as I can to try to get that open. As far as how do we get the exposure for you guys and things like that, I think it had to go back to the original conversation I had with Bob and Blake. So people are gonna scream at me for this. Nothing's written in stone. This is just something we all need to reevaluate. When you bring non-members into the membership and you start generating leads that's going back to non-members, that's a problem in the current model. Because Bob Olson always says it best, membership has its rights, and that's true. We need to be able to take care of our members before we go start taking care of our non-members. And that's one of the reasons we're gonna really start looking at our councils. We need to make sure whatever leads we have within that space, they're going to chamber members first. Because that's the easiest way for you to survive. If there's 2 photographers, or we want to say that, and then one is a non-member and they're getting access to our leads, that becomes a problem. That is a big problem. Because it's no different. If you go to BNI only shares leads with BNI members. We need to make sure we protect our membership and we support our membership. So I think we're taking a real good hard look at that right now. So that's my long-winded answer, Dana.
Wendell.
Thank you.
On the new website, will there be advertising opportunities for members?
Yes. So we're going with a company called Growth Zone. Growth Zone is another iteration of Chambermaster. The biggest difference is this is a mobilely optimized website. For Kim's already smiling because she's going, thank God, and it's happening now. For most people who don't know, the simplest way to think about a mobilely optimized website is when you get it on your phone, you just scroll up and down. You don't click a tab, tab, tab because it becomes very difficult. So yes, there's going to be advertising. The other thing that I thought was, none of these websites do it all, right? Everyone could do something a little bit better. Is in the directory, they allow you to put your logo. And in your logo, of course, you can embed your link and you click it, you go to your website. So it's directing traffic to you directly in the click of a link. It's not, I need to make a phone call and I can't take the phone call and all that other stuff. So, I think there's some of that going on there. Those are the big highlights initially. The other thing that people had said to us is, could the website look like it had Clay County pictures? Could it look like it belongs in Clay County? Could it look like it represents Clay County? So that's one of the biggest things. We're working really, really hard to try to make it look like it's from Clay County. And that's not easy. In the world of websites, people don't realize just how much work it goes into those things when you're going from sort of a template to having them change every picture and everything to make it local, right? That takes some time. But we're close. We're pretty close.
Wendell?
Ma'am.
I'm meeting with Dawn tomorrow with some of those photos, but if you guys know any chamber members that have photos, even if it's with their phone, that's of Clay County and represents Clay County without representing a specific business, you should connect with Dawn on that. I know that she's really looking for some of those photos. They put a call out on the website at one point, so don't be afraid to submit your photos.
Sure. One more? You guys gonna let me get off the hook? Here they come. Keith.
So Keith wants to know, will the full replay of this be posted? Keith, actually, I am recording this, and I'll edit out the long pause at the beginning and provide it over to the chamber and let them decide. I'm not sure if they'll put it on the website or we'll put it out on YouTube, but yes, we do have a recording of this.
So I'll take some of these text questions here. G asked if the Clay County, if the website is by a Clay County based business. For those of you who don't know about chamber websites, which most people don't, they are something called Association Management Software, AMS. They are not a simple website. They are massive undertakings with a lot of things on the back end. Taking payments, creating the directories. There's probably one person that I have come across in trying to come up with a website who actually can create a directory, because it's so hard to do and it takes so much work and you don't get to use it. There's nobody locally or regionally who produces association management software. Nobody. It's a chamber specific manager. There's a couple of them. Acrisoft is the one that Jack's Chamber used. Growth Chambermaster is the one St. Johns County used. Growth Zone is owned by Chambermaster, but is their newest iteration because it's mobilely focused. So it's not because I didn't want to choose a local company. Association Management Software, they're a beast all in their own, and it's just not cost effective for a local person, number one, if they were to build one, to produce it for one chamber. It's something you got to produce it at scale. I got to produce it, and then I got to sell it off to as much chambers as I could. So that's why I didn't go with somebody locally.
Weekly sales meeting?
No.
I have another one, Nicole Carroll. Nicole Carroll is had a good, and Nicole helped me with this during COVID. She asked about a special counsel for home services and things like that. Nicole is connected to real estate. I know that's not what she's asking, but again, I think it's something to worth considering. I'm not sure if she was talking something like Angie's List, because for a very long time, Judy Goody has been asking for something like that, something where people can go find like locally based services. I will have Dawn contact Growth Zone, because she does it every week, and see if there's some way to segment that thing, first with the directory, and number two, then we can look at I will go back to advisory and advocacy to talk a little bit about different councils. Those are some of the things we're considering right now. So I will take it under consideration. I have no more text. If anybody has a question, I guess if you're not typing, you can just ask. And Amy Miller, my board member, asked, the incubator, when will it be up and running? We're shooting for January. If we get the building now, we'll be able to meet January, but we're looking and as hard as we can. And let me tell you, the inventory in Clay County is unbelievably thin. So if you know of any building, at least 5,000 square feet, just send me the address. I'm willing to go look at it.
Wendell, I just want to say thank you for providing this opportunity for us to hear from you and to ask questions, and I appreciate your transparency. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. It's been awesome. You guys have been, you guys have been holding as much as, especially in the councils, which Janet, you do spend a lot of time in the councils, and I appreciate that, because that's so valuable to what we do with that small business network. I think it's truly a testimony to a more holistic chamber, and not just everything coming out from me or, the personalities. One of the things the board and I, when we sat down and we took a good hard look at this, the chamber needs to be the brand of the chamber and not the personalities connected to the chamber doing the work. And I think with all of us kind of getting along and collaborating, you guys made it easier for me too, to be able to focus on some of the bigger things we were focusing on at the time. So thank you, Janet.
I may have missed it, but do we need to do anything to make sure we're listed on the chamber website when it's live? Or
No,
what?
so what's gonna happen once the chamber membership, the new website goes live, you all will get an invitation to have your own portal. So you get to enter all your information on your own, put in your logo, update your records and things like that. And the reason that's valuable, because sometimes on the older model, you have to contact the chamber and then we have to figure out how to put it in and update it. This model, you get your login portal. So you get to update everything on your end and make sure it's accurate. So once we're ready to go live, you'll get an invitation, from the best of my understanding, to go in and update your information.
Thank you.
So it's coming pretty soon there, Bill. No more chats, and I'm getting off here pretty quickly today. I will tell you this. Let me ask a question and see what you guys think. One of the struggles that we're having, and I shouldn't say a struggle, yeah, kinda, is the reaching the areas that we don't go. So like Keystone, we have membership there, but we don't go to Keystone. Green Cove, we have membership there, but we don't really go to Green Cove. Traditionally, everything has been concentrated in the northern part of the county, so to speak, if we were to say that. So Oakleaf, Women's Council it's in Club Continental, Bridgeton, everything's concentrated up here. I visited Keystone during the last, probably a few weeks ago. And one of the things I noticed with Keystone, and this is, of course, this is just on the periphery, they mobilized the most using the information communication, what they use out there. Apparently there's a Keystone Facebook page that everybody's connected to in that place, to come out and collect masks. They had 1,000 people come out and take masks in Keystone. Amazing. The response was unbelievable. And I think half of the problem equation for me when it comes to going into a new place or creating new opportunities for businesses is communication. How do we get the messaging out to all these people? So long story short, I'm thinking about doing something in Keystone, probably monthly or quarterly, however we decide to do it, where the membership can go to Keystone, the people who are in the north can go down there, whereas the people who are there can come out. And that way we're probably community facing or something to that, some kind of version of that. How do you guys feel about, would you be willing to go to Keystone? Because I can't go to Keystone if you guys are not willing to go, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love Keystone.
Yes, absolutely. It's a nice little town, very active small business community in Keystone.
Yeah, I went down there and I was like, wow, I couldn't believe these people. It was one Facebook message by the city manager and everybody, I mean, the response was unbelievable. And I mean, I don't know what that will turn out to as far as leads is concerned, but I can tell you, any opportunity is a good opportunity to get in front of a new group of potential customers and leads and things like that. So I think I wanted to explore that to some degree. Alan Watts asking me about State of the County. State of the County is traditionally held 1 week before they go back to Tallahassee. They start the session in Tallahassee. This year, it started on the 3rd week, so we went the 2nd week of January. I will get with the Tallahassee calendar and then we'll pick the date, because I don't think they've pushed that out yet with everything that's happening with COVID when they start their session back. So it's going to be somewhere in January, Alan. I will get it to you, I promise.
Is that Keystone group something that we can join, or do you know the name of it?
No, I'll try to find it. I'll try to get it to you, Bill.
Thank you.
I didn't join it personally. I contacted the city manager and I told her I wanted to come to Keystone to give out face masks. Apparently she put the messaging out there using that group, and they just showed up in droves. Like everything else, that can be a double-edged sword, right? The Lord give it, the Lord take it in those web pages. So be careful how you get in them.
Hey, Wendell.
Sir.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing, Chris?
Wondering what kind of, I guess maybe like a cross-pollination of the North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce out of the Stark area and then the Clay County Chamber.
Yeah.
You know, if there's membership involved there that, again, would be, I don't know, maybe some of them have a dual membership, or if they're mostly concentrated, you know, to the North Florida Regional Chamber.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Patricia has always brought me more information about what's going on there than anybody else. I think you guys can make a connection for me. I'll be more than happy to try to reach out and work with them. For those of you who don't know, chambers are they're having a very difficult time. Flagler Chamber of Commerce voted 2 weeks ago to dissolve their Chamber of Commerce. Again, because it's private funding. And if businesses are not doing well, that membership doesn't come in, the dollars, and there's some of that happening. So yeah, any opportunity to collaborate, I'll be more than happy to. Patricia Evans called me, I think 2 weeks ago, and she asked me about she wanted some ideas because you guys were getting some CARES Act money out there. And I did speak to her about trying to create some permanence. Right, that money could be temporary, or it can create that gift that keeps on giving. I truly believe the incubator had the potential to keep on giving, as opposed to nothing's wrong with cutting the checks, cut the checks and support those businesses. But if we can find a way to create something that outlasts COVID when it's all said and done, I think if there's an opportunity to do that, we needed to do it. So I did share that idea with her, and I haven't followed back up since. But yes, any opportunity to do that, I'll be more than happy to do so, Chris. So if you send me an email, make the connection, I will be more than happy to come out there see what we can do to collaborate, especially with you guys there on Keystone, right? That's because you guys have been awesome in working together out there. And I think it truly is a good thing, especially everything that happened with the airport. So for everybody here on the Zoom has become part of our lives. I tried GoToMeeting, I didn't like it. I tried Zoom, I don't like it even more. We finally got some webcams in here. They were like dinosaurs. They were extinct for a while, but I finally got some. Makes my life a little bit easier because everything's in one place with my computer. But I think there's some opportunity there for growth. I think we can start thinking outside the box and get at some really high profile speakers because most people are locked in at home and they don't have to travel anywhere. So it reduces that. But I think as we become a little bit more comfortable, we'll have to do some of the nice production stuff like what Cheryl is doing over there to make it look nice on the screen. So I'm probably going to tap into Cheryl and Dana Heisler and say, okay, how do we probably scroll in, advertising or banner sponsorship or something else on some of these things as we start going forward with our 2021 plans, because I know my advisory and advocacy has been working real hard to try to figure out what the next move is. One of the reasons we have not started back events is because our insurance as a business does not cover us in case anything viral or bacterial is transferred, and that is COVID related. So the board has made a business decision to not do these things. The reason we did the teacher drive-through, there was zero contact, and the reason we're going to do the annual gala is because it's completely socially distanced, and we must keep an event to install the new board, right? The new board has to come in, the new one has to go out, that type of thing. And it's another way of showcasing some of our businesses. I say all of that to say this: I think there's room to become more creative. I'm looking for all the ideas I can get because I don't know. I have contacted a couple people that I think are smarter than me in that space, but if Cheryl and Dana and people like that who are much better in that space would reach out to me, I think we may need to get together and probably have a little powwow.
Sounds good. She's listening.
Dana's listening. She'll give you a call.
Yeah, I think we'll probably need to get together with a couple people because for people like me who don't really use it, sometimes it's better if they can kind of walk me through it and I get a better understanding, and then we kind of start doing it and see what it looks like. Like yours with Basket Life, like how it shows there. I read how to do it, but then, if we can do something, I guess the word is more production, then we'll be more than happy to start doing that.
Yeah. The logo was a Stephanie Brenly thing, but we can walk you through once you have some kind of logo, how to put it on the screen.
And you can rotate that in the video too.
Also, nominations are out for the annual awards. If you guys have not seen it, the link is out there. Find them, nominate somebody. It's a nomination process. It's not an election process, so to speak. So go out and nominate people, small business category, everything's up there. And the description of the criteria to be considered is all included. It's an awesome thing. Last year, it was a true surprise for those people who won. So please participate. That's the only way it becomes valuable, right? It's great to recognize some people who have done work over and above. And you guys know most of those people compared to me. So please go in there and do it. How many people do we have on here? Let's see. 25, I think.
22.
Kim, does that sound right?
22 at the moment.
Kim,
Yes.
So one of the things Darren installed was what's called a round robin, where everybody, for the last 5 minutes, everybody get to kind of introduce themselves and say something. There's a lot of, I know everybody here probably, but why don't we do that? Let everybody introduce themselves in the last 5 minutes and then we close it off there.
That sounds great. Why don't we go ahead and start with Phyllis? Phyllis?
Yes, Phyllis Simpson. I am in the transformational life coaching business. I've been doing that for the last 3 years. Relocated to Florida during that time, but I'm based here in Orange Park. That's who I am.
Okay. How about Mike?
Mike Slagle, Assigned Commercial Group. I have been a chamber member, I guess, since 2008. So I've seen the ups and downs and arounds. And I wanted to thank Wendell for his leadership at this time.
Okay. Nancy? Are you still?
Hi. Good morning. Nancy Radins. I'm with Unity Fiber Optics, providing internet fiber reliable connections to businesses. I think, Wendell, you're doing a great job. Hang in there. We're all really in this together. No one's having it easy right now. So, but I think you're doing great.
Thank you, Nancy. How about Alan? Are you still on?
I am, but I have to hit the unmute button. Alan Watt, I'm the mayor of the town of Orange Park. Although most of the phone calls I get from people think that Oak Cliff is part of the town of Orange Park. Anyway, I still run my little engineering firm and actually pretty busy. But thank you, Wendell. We appreciate it. And this is a good thing for everybody.
Great. Thank you. How about Amy?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Amy Miller, and I serve as the National Director for the Asphalt Pavement Alliance. So we're a national organization, and we work with national asphalt contractors. We work with the oil companies. We work on things related to asphalt nationally. Locally, I'm one of the chamber board members and also a founding member for St. John's Classical Academy, charter school located in Fleming Island. So I'll just echo what Nancy said. I think Wendell's done a very good job of pivoting in a situation that none of us could have expected. He's done a very good job with well, I shouldn't say rebranding, but really taking the chamber to a different place than it's been before and looking for opportunities. And I'll just tell you all, just in my work with Wendell, Wendell's heart is in the right place. He loves this area. He loves businesses here, and his goal is always to do the right thing. So I've enjoyed working with him, and I just want to take this opportunity to say that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bill Green.
Bill Green, Green Insurance Agency. I also want to thank the chamber. Leaving a large business that I worked for almost 6 years first this year was kind of scary, but the connections within the chamber definitely helped make that easier. I help people with their health insurance of all types, whether it's ACA, Obamacare, off-marketplace plans, Medicare. I do all types of health insurance, including group. Thank you very much.
Okay. Our list keeps getting shorter, so I'm going down in order. Charisse. Are you still there, Charisse? Okay. All right, well, let's move on. Let's see, Chris and Dana.
Good morning. First, I want to say thank you for taking the time to give this information to us real quick. And I wanted to emphasize what you've been talking about with pivoting. And what you guys see here is Basket Life. Some people might not recognize it, but it's a pivot that we created from Heisler Studios that came out of some maneuvers that we were making. And it was starting to do so well, we had to create its own name. So what Basket Life is a sponsored basket business. We're local businesses in the area. We're serving Clay County right now, 5 different zip codes of putting a welcome basket on the doorstep of new homeowners that move into the area, and getting local businesses to advertise in that, kind of like think of junk mail that everybody stands there and throws away when they get it when they move into a house. Now you're going to get a beautiful basket that's going to get in the face of a homeowner when they first moved into the home. And now they can know who are these businesses to go to that they moved here. You know, where do they get the chiropractors? Where do they get the insurance? Where do they get advertising for like videos and stuff like that? This is the local business opportunity to get in front of those, because the real estate market is still booming. People are moving in like crazy. So this is our chance to pivot everybody. And that's what our heart is to do, is to help people out. And the chamber has been absolutely instrumental in helping us do so. We would not have been able to make this pivot without the assistance of Wendell and those in the chamber and those that we've networked with. So thank you all.
Great. And Cheryl?
Good morning. I'm Cheryl Kennedy with Home Video Studio in Green Cove Springs. I also want to thank Wendell and the Chamber. I'm a new member since last fall. I do video production and also tape, video, film, photo, slide transfers from the older formats to digital. And I do that out of my home studio. Thanks again.
Very cool. And let's see, JC.
Hey, good morning. I'm Chris Doherty. I'm with Universal Engineering. I'm the business development manager. We specialize in geotechnical engineering, construction materials testing, private provider building inspections, environmental sciences, and I am also the current chairman of the Bradford County Board of County Commissioners.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendell.
JJ. I know JJ's with us, has been with us by phone. Are you still online, JJ? Okay, well, we'll move on to Keith.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Keith Johnson, Keith E. Johnson, CPA, PA. We're a full-service CPA firm, proud member of the Chamber for several years, and look forward to actually getting more active, and definitely want to thank Wendell for the update, the information.
Okay. Is there anyone we missed? I apologize if I missed you, but the list keeps changing. Do we get everybody? I think we got everybody. Wendell?
Well, you guys been awesome. I think we're 3 minutes over, but that's not a bad thing. Again, I thank all of you. Any struggles, reach out personally. If I don't hear about it, I can't help, right? And again, sometimes there's this silent fight between big business and small business. In my head, there's no fight. There's just a more holistic picture. We gotta kind of take the whole thing into consideration. So reach out to us. My board's awesome. They're willing to accommodate to anything. They listen to new ideas. These people are committed. Most people don't realize how long they've been volunteering. So they are committed to whatever it is your idea might be. And if we can help, we'd be more than happy to try to do so. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and look forward to your commitment going forward. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you. Hey, Wendell, if you can hang